All right, welcome back everybody to our series on doing shadow work. We are doing the shadow work journal together, and I am actually going to skip page 8, 9, and 10. They're re-saying stuff we've already said. You can read those if you want. I'll go to page 11. The mindset is self-compassion. So one of the key aspects of shadow work is self-compassion. When you're beginning to explore your shadow, it can be challenging to face the parts of yourself that you reject or hide. So again, your shadow are those parts that you deny, that you don't like, that are hidden away. They weren't acceptable when you were a kid. They're still festering. There's parts that you don't like yourself, you hate yourself, and you hide them in the shadow. So we need to have self-compassion when we start to explore these parts because some of them aren't going to be comfortable. They're not going to be fun, right? It's important to approach your shadows with non-judgmental attitude. Treat yourself with the same kindness you would your friend. And you've probably heard this before. We're way tougher on ourselves than other people. If you saw your friend struggling, you'd give them totally different advice than if you're struggling with the same thing. So we need to bring that awareness when we think about these tough parts of ourselves that we don't love. We need to have compassion and not judge them and think like you're talking to your best friend. Because the goal is to create a safe environment for you to do this work. And it may sound silly. What do you mean safe? There's physical safety for sure, but there's psychological safety. And there's a reason why you've trapped these difficult, challenging thoughts in the back of your head. Because when you were a kid, these emotions and feelings were not safe. And they are back there. They're still affecting your life, like we talked about. They're draining your battery every day. So, in order to work with and talk to and explore these parts, we have to create a safe psychological environment. And the key to that is going to be self compassion and not judging ourselves. So then it says self compassion involves recognizing and accepting our own human limitations, failures, and experiences of suffering rather than harsh self criticism and judgment. So this is going to be really hard for some people. It was for me growing up because I grew up unintentionally neglected by a single mother. I internalized not getting what I need, and I thought I was the problem. So I grew up with a lot of anxiety and depression, but a lot of self hate, a lot of judgment, and I never knew why. But doing this work, I found those parts in me, I found those shadows that hated myself because I didn't get what I need from my parents in the world. And my baby brain got confused and aimed it back at me and hated myself. So I'm saying this because when we're doing shadow work, we got to have compassion for ourselves. And some of us, that's going to be really hard. Our default is being very critical, very tough on ourselves. You're your own worst critic, right? You resonate with that? And some of us may go as far down the line as I did, where I hated myself. I couldn't stand myself. And it took years of healing to get away from that. So I'm going to invite you to try to be self compassionate. Try not to judge yourself when we talk about these parts of your brain that you're not comfortable with. You're going to notice some self loathing and some self hate come up, but just try to be aware of it and try not to focus energy into that. And again, try to talk to yourself like you would your best friend. So again, that was page 11, self-compassion. We'll keep it short and move on to the next one. Please subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.